Okay, Asia session live. Starting my Asia session right now. I usually start at 7 a.m. at Tokyo Market Open, but today I was a little bit busy, so I did not get in at the open. So got the Asia scanner all set up here. I can see that there's a bunch of signal days on these pairs. These blue boxes tell me that these pairs have good trading conditions to look for my setups today. This one tells me that I can look at a particular bar, but it's not set up perfectly for what I'm looking for. And this one that's lit up tells me it's a signal day that has the setup I'm looking for that's already been triggered. So only one right now, Nikkei. This star tells me it's a trend breakout setup. The star tells me that we are still inside the previous day's range. So every day the market always behaves in the same way on every single time frame. It always starts between the previous high and the previous low of the time frame. And so right now this setup is a trend retracement setup. What I'm looking for is I want higher time frame breakout levels pushing in one direction, and I'm looking for a retracement, faking out a low to take it up. So I'm looking at daily. These are daily setups right now. On the daily, I am looking for H8 to tell me where momentum is taking the market. So right now, we have a daily breakout bar on the daily, and we have a fake out of the H8 low, and price has got above that fake out level. So this is a setup I'm looking for. It's a continuation setup, faking up the low H8 low above the breakout level, and I want to take it up to the previous day high. That's my favorite setup to trade, but it did happen already in the morning. So 7 a.m. This is Tokyo Market Open. This is when I'd be looking for that move, and I would get in on this rollover back up. So obviously, I don't think I can take this one. This is already moved, and I need to see it pull back a little more in order for me to take it. And even if it does pull back, I don't think I have enough room to take this. So the way that I break down my trading is that on the daily, I'm looking at H8 as momentum. There are three H8 bars in one daily bar. So if there are three H8 bars in one daily bar, if I get a fake out of the first one, and this is Asia session, London, New York, each one has one H8 bar. There's a 33.3% chance that I've locked in low of the day. So in this case, I want to get in at the low of the day. Trend retracement, I want to get in at the low of the day to take it back up. So if I get a fake out of that H8 at the low at the first one, there's a 33.3% chance that I've caught the low of the day. And with a win rate strategy of 33.3%, I need to be targeting at least 2R to be a break-even trader. And I don't get enough here unless I get down at lower time frames. But I think it's already too high up. I don't think I can catch this one. Okay, so I was looking. So usually, if I can't find something that I like here, nothing is set up, then I focus on my core pairs. Just having a quick look at yen pairs here. I love trading yen pairs, especially these trend breakout ones. I want to see price come down, fake out the H8 low. So one of the good things about how I trade is I know exactly where my trade is going to be. This purple line right here is the previous H8 low. I know that unless price comes down here, I'm not going to have a trade. So on these trend continuation, I'm either looking for that fake out of the low, or I'm looking for an H8 high breakout above the previous day high. So the H8 high breakout above previous day high seems to be more likely, but I generally don't like to trade breakouts in Asia because most breakouts fail. I trade all three sessions, and so I don't really want to take breakouts until New York. Unless I've already locked in some profit, I don't usually take breakouts. Okay, so I'm not going to be looking at these ones. Gold has just triggered. I can see right here that there's a breakout bar on the daily, and it has faked out the H8 low. So we're going to have a quick look at what gold is doing right now. This was something that I did see. Gold is one of the core pairs I trade. These are the core pairs: NAS, Nikkei, gold, oil, and sometimes GJ. So in this case, in Asia, I trade GJ. That's one of my core pairs. And then I also trade the indices, session-specific indices. So last session was US 30 and SPX, New York session. In London, I trade DE 30 and UK 100. In Asia, it's AU 200 and HK 33, but my current broker doesn't provide that, so I'm not going to be looking at that. Okay, so just quickly over here, got a setup on gold. It's a trend breakout setup. Just going to do some quick analysis over here. Higher time frame breakout levels, all bullish. Peak bias, both bullish. We're above a weekly range. I can see a monthly range here. There's an inside bar in the month. And whenever I see an inside bar, I extend the previous peaks, and that becomes the range. And we have just faked out the high of the range. So usually when I'm range trading, I want to see a fake out of one side of the range, and I want to take it to the other side. In this case, it's a little bit tricky. I would think that price will come down a little bit because we're at that range, but higher time frame breakout levels and peak bias are both pushing up. So this is a little bit concerning. I would not want to trade. I would not want to take a reversal when everything is pushing up. At the very least, I want to see the H8 breakout level, which is right here. So I'm overall bullish above, overall bearish below these breakout levels. I at least want to see this one get taken out before I even think about reversals. But I can see right now that the H4, H1, and M15 breakout levels are all bearish, so price is coming down. But since I have a bullish bias, I would rather be looking for buys. I can see there's an inside bar here in the H8, and on the H8 there's an inside bar. I extend the previous bars, highs and lows. I generally don't like to trade inside these ranges, but I can also see that there's a range on the H4 and it's coming down, or at the H1 actually, and it's coming right down at the edge. So there is a possibility that it won't get down all the way, and so this is why I have to just be patient and see what's going to happen here. And you can see here that this was that monthly range on the 4 hour. I look at the monthly bar, inside bar in the month, and we have just faked out that high of the range. So again, higher time frame breakout levels and momentum is still bullish, but lower time frame momentum or middle time frame momentum is bearish. So I'm just going to have a quick see here. I do want to see momentum turn before I take a buy. I definitely want to take a buy on this one. Dropping down to lower time frames, I'm going to be scalping today. I've been asked a lot about my scalping principles recently, so I've been in the mood to be scalping. Usually I'm taking M15 trades, day trades, but my strategy can also scalp. Okay, let me just set up my MetaTrader. Got it on the side here. Just want to make sure that I'm all set up, ready to go. Okay, so what I'm looking for, I want to see price rollover. Just quick check of the time. I don't want to get too close to that H1 bar closing time. What I want to see is price start to reverse. So right now we're below that M15 breakout level, which is right here. So this tells me that the M15 is bearish, and we're also below the M5 breakout level. So right now the M15 and the M5 are bearish. Lots of levels here, lots of things moving, but essentially I'm just keeping my eyes on these two levels. I don't care what is happening anywhere else. I'm just looking to see these two levels. So the idea for me is that why would I want to look for a reversal if the M15 and the M5, especially the M5, is bearish? I would not want to be trading. Why would I want to be looking for a buy if the M5 is bearish? So with momentum, what I'm looking for, it always moves in the exact same way. So we're below that breakout level, or maybe I should explain it like this. We always start in a range. This is when I'm looking for range cycles. And this is how price moves. At some point, it'll break out of that range. And this is when I look for my breakout cycles. It'll continue moving until it creates its peak. Once it fakes out its peak, just going to have a quick look here. Once it fakes out its peak, it'll start to reverse. And this is the first sign of a reversal, but that reversal is not confirmed until it flips that breakout level. Then you turn into a false breakout cycle, and I'm looking at my fake out cycles. And at this point, sometimes it'll pull back and you can take a nice retracement buy over here, or it can just break out above the high and start a new trend. So this is a trend reversal. It reverses that previous trend, which was bearish here. And then once it gets above the high, above that breakout level, it flips bias. Okay, 1 minute until the M15 closes. What I want to see is I want to see this M15 close and breakout. I can see a range over here, inside bar. I create a range, extend the peaks, and that creates a range. This range continues to exist until there's a breakout bar that closes outside of it. So this is going to be, pretty sure this is going to close and break out. This one almost did, but it technically did not close and break out. So this one will close and break out, hopefully. And what I want to see is I want to see price come down and fake out the low. And then I could possibly take a buy on this one, or I want to see price. Right now, the M15 breakout level is the last breakout bar, which is right here. So I'm bearish below, bullish above. But if this one closes and breakout, the new breakout level will be down here. So I would like to see some sort of reversal and take it back up. So I trade momentum. So I'm not looking at bar candles or bar structure or anything like that. I'm just looking to see if the lower time frame is going to reverse. And so right now on the 5 second, I look at the M5 levels. And again, there's a lot of things going on here. It looks really intimidating, but essentially my eyes are just focused on this M5 breakout level. I do want to see this M15 close. Let's see what happens here. So the M15 closed in bearish breakout. If the M15 closes in bearish breakout, I'm looking for a buy. So I'm looking for a reversal. I'm either looking for price to come back up above that breakout level and then break out above the high, or I'm looking for price to come down low, fake out the low, and then flip. So these are the two areas I'll be looking to take a trade. But again, I'm just keeping my eyes on momentum. 10-second chart, I look at the M15 and the M5. There are three M5 bars and one M15 bar, exactly how I trade the daily, three H8 bars and one daily bar. And then on the M5, I'm looking at the M1. So there's five M1 bars and one M5 bar. Same like the weekly. On the 1 hour, I look at the week. There's weekly levels and daily as a momentum. So there are 5 daily bars and one weekly bar. So everything is structured in that way. And right now I have nothing to do. I'm not looking at pushes. I'm not looking at trend lines. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I'm looking at is price, closing price. Is it getting above my levels or not? Right now I have no idea where momentum is taking the market. All I know is that the M5 is bearish. I'm not going to go against this M5 breakout level because it's bearish. Why would you want to buy a move when the M5 and the M1, here's the M1 breakout level, this arrow right here, M1 and M5 are bearish, so don't care at all about this market until we can flip. So the way that I trade, I'm looking to size into my positions. I don't take one full position when I'm scalping. When I'm day trading, it's fine. On the M15, I'll take a full position. But when I'm scalping, I slowly add into my position and I keep my risk extremely low. And the idea is that I want to size in. Ideally, the idea is to size in when we get a fake out of the low, breakout reversal, size in here, false breakout, flipping that breakout level, and then size in here when that trend gets reversed. So right now I have nothing to do over here, no reason to do anything. I'm just waiting for price to trigger one of these levels. Okay, so nothing I can do, just going to pause and I'll come back when price has triggered these alerts. Okay, 15-minute bar about to close here. Looks like it might close inside, has not triggered the M15 low or high. This is too close to the H1 bar, so I'm not going to be taking any trade on the next 15 minutes. And the reason why is because if you look at any higher time frame bar, or any bar actually, any time frame bar, what you're going to find a lot of times is you're going to find almost every bar has a top wick and bottom wick, right? Almost all of them. So if you get in too close to a closing time of a higher time frame bar, you're going to find yourself in drawdown at some point in the next bar. It might not happen immediately. It might take a bit of time, but very often, if you get in too close to the closing time, you're going to find yourself in drawdown. So usually, I don't like to trade those. Sometimes you don't get one, but if you just visually look at most of the bars, you're going to find yourself in drawdown. So usually at that last 15 minutes of the H1 bar, I don't take any trades. I just wait for the next one to see if there's going to be any pullback. Yeah, and so the H4 as well, just quick check on the H4. When the H4 has 1 hour left, I don't usually trade that H4 either. So I'm not going to take any positions here. I can also see there's an inside bar. Whenever there's an inside bar, I extend the previous bar's peaks, and that becomes a range. I don't like to trade when we're in a range. This tells me that there's limited potential for movement, and we are stuck in a range. I don't want to be trading that. I want to trade when there's a breakout. So when there's a breakout, this is when there's room to catch some positions. and I know that the market is moving. And this is why all my setups start with that breakout bar. Every single one starts with the breakout bar. It doesn't necessarily have to be the daily breakout bar. It can be any time frame breakout bar. My setups work on every single time frame, completely fractal. The idea is I just need to find a time frame that is moving, and I know that the time frame is moving when there's a breakout bar. So right now I'm not interested in this. What I want to see is a breakout. Ideally, what I want to see is a breakout to the low, and then I can take it back up. I have to be careful of this. The H8 low, we're below that, so H8 traders are now bearish. There was that range we identified earlier, so there's a possibility that price can come down here, and so this might be a London trade instead of an Asia trade. But again, I'm just looking for momentum, and right now, momentum has not given me any reason to look for buys. We're still below that M5 breakout level, and we're still below the M15 breakout level. We have two time frame alignment over here, M15 and the M5 are both bearish. Absolutely no reason to be looking for buys. I don't do things like draw trend lines and see W's and go, okay, I'm going to get in. That's not how I trade. I look at breakout levels, and this tells me where momentum is taking the market. So right now, momentum is bearish. No reason at all for me to buy. And so the other thing that I saw, I think there was a range on the H1 here. Yes, there is a range here on the H1. So this is another definition of a range for me. An outside bar, faking out the previous bar's high, faking out the previous bar's low, and then closing inside. So once I see that, I extend the peaks of that bar, and this becomes a range. And again, this range continues to exist until there's a breakout bar that closes outside of it. So 11 more minutes until the H1. I would love to see a breakout that closes outside of this. And then once there's that breakout that removes that range, it'll be gone. And then I can take a cleaner trade back up. Also a range on the H4. So there's a bunch of ranges here, but again, I just trade momentum. Momentum is bearish. There's no reason to buy. If I can catch momentum start to turn, then I'm going to attempt a move here. Otherwise, there's no reason at all for me to buy. Okay, so just going to wait for that H1 bar. Again, I want to see this close and breakout. That would be ideal. And then I would like to see a fake out of the peak. And if I don't get that, then I would have to get in at the flip of the breakout level. So right now, the H1 breakout level is over here. But if this one closes in breakout, then that breakout level gets pushed up a bit, and I can get a tighter entry. But the better one would be this one. So this is a breakout level, and if it fakes out the peak, that's a breakout reversal. Over here, breakout level, faking out the peak, previous low, that's a breakout reversal. These are always going to give you the best entries, but these are the most risky entries as well. But it only makes sense to take these if you have a high risk to reward. So when I scalp, I don't take 1R, 1.5R. I think every scalper says to do that. I don't do that. I hold for much longer. I hold for basically day trading levels, but I take it in a scalping way. So you can get huge R if you do that, and then when you size in, it can increase exponentially. But let's see what happens over here. Okay, 10 minutes, got nothing to do, just gonna do whatever. Don't care over here. Anything else? Nothing triggered here. Yeah, so nothing going on in Asia. Let's see the overall market here. So this one is Asia pairs, and this is the overall market. Overall market, I don't see anything really moving either. So let's see. Might be a slow day, but at the moment, nothing is interesting me except gold. Yeah, Nikkei is still wanted to come up, but if I were coming in earlier in the session, I definitely would have hit that one. A string of breakout bars here on GJ. Okay, so the other thing about this gold trade, gold is exhibiting some very nice behavior. We have a breakout followed by an inside day, and we have hard time frames all pushing bullish. So right now, what's happening with gold? We are above that breakout level, and it's an inside day. So I have setups for every single market condition. I can trade reversals, I can trade continuations, and I can trade ranges. On a breakout followed by an inside day, what I'm looking for is a range setup. I want price to come down, fake out the previous day low, fake out the previous H8 low, and I want to take it up to the previous day high. Next thing I want to see is some consolidation above that previous day high and below that outer range, and a breakout above that. So what happened on this particular one? Price came down, faked out the previous day low, faked out the previous H8 low, did exactly what I wanted, and then it came up eventually to that previous day high. And then next thing I'm looking for is consolidation above that previous day high, below that range. So did not get a picture perfect one. Oops. Did not get a picture perfect one here. But if you squint your eyes a bit, you can kind of talk yourself into thinking that there was consolidation here. Not really the best one, but it ended up breaking out. So once it breaks out, I'm looking for continuation moves. And this is a sort of behavior I'm looking for. I want to see a breakout of the high. So we did get a breakout of the previous day high above, and then I want to see consolidation and a breakout of the H8 high above the previous day high. We did get a bit of consolidation, not the best one. So sometimes you'll get a perfect one, sometimes not. These are a little bit difficult to trade, at least for me. And then I got that breakout of the H8 high and the previous day high right here in Asia. This was a good move, but came back down. And then the next thing that I'm looking for is a fake out of the H8 low to continue that move up. And what's happening right now? Gold is faking out that H8 low, so I would expect a continued move back up. So gold is exhibiting perfect price action the way that I read it, and so this is why I'm interested here. And I don't mind taking an attempt here. I might take a loss here because we're still in the range. There's still room for gold to go down, but since we have faked out the H8 low, and since I am a mechanical trader, I'm going to take this if I have momentum on my side. And so this is why I'm looking at gold, and let's see what happens. So 5 minutes here, 7 minutes, and I will come back. Okay, almost 15 seconds here until H1 closes. We're below the range. I want to see this H1 close in breakout. 2-hour bar as well. I had a quick look at the 2-hour bar. We're also in a range on the 2 hours. It's closing and breakout. So once this breakout closes, it removes that range. And now what I want to see is I want to see price come down, fake out the low, and then come back up. So let's see if this is what's going to happen here. Last M15 close inside bar. So there's a breakout bar followed by a bunch of inside bars. When I'm looking for a reversal on that, this is what I'm looking for. Technically, it's a bearish one, but I'm looking for a bullish reversal. I want to see a fake out of a low to take it back up. So it has not faked out that M15 low. If I can get that fake out, then I will take that up. Otherwise, my only entry would be above these levels. So I still have not changed. M5 breakout level is still the same. Nothing has changed here. There's no reason for me to buy. Still waiting. M1 breakout level is over here. So we have mixed bias now on the lower time frames. M1 is bullish, M5 is bearish. When you're mixed bias, anything can happen. It'll kind of bounce around. Let's see what happens here. So we're still on a range. Again, I always look for that last breakout bar. This is my reference point, my anchor point. You always need some sort of anchor point to keep you grounded on the charts. Otherwise, you can get lost in all this movement. So this breakout bar is what keeps me anchored. So I always know where we are in relation to those breakout levels. Okay, we're breaking out above here. Has not faked out the low. So that's not what I really like to see. But if we flip this, this will be my first position. But I would really like to see price come back down. Okay, so some of these, I don't usually record my scalps because they take a long time. Reason why I trade M15 is I much prefer just setting alerts and then I just walk back calmly. But when I'm scalping, I have to kind of stay tethered to the computer, and this is why I don't usually scalp, or at least take these sort of scalping entries. Okay, we're almost there. M1 is bullish. We've broken out above previous week high, broke out above that previous M1 high. So right now, the M1 is in breakout. It's in a trend breakout. It broke out already and breaking out above previous M1 high. So, okay. So we're continuing the trend. We're not in a breakout reversal. We're continuing that new trend. So I want to say a closure above, and then I want to see continuation. So here's that closure above, and then I want to see a little bit of continuation. There we go. So that's my first position. It's not my favorite. That's a flip of that M5 breakout level. I would have much preferred price to come down, but even then, that's still a good position. This is the false breakout. This one over here, false breakout position. We flipped that breakout level, but the better one would have been if we faked out that low. But still, this is okay. This is still a good position that I'm happy with. Again, I'm a mechanical trader. I'm not going to overthink it. Just going to take my positions. I'm going to size in slowly to my positions. Right now, the M5 is bullish, so this allows me to think about possibly that the market is starting to reverse. So next position I'm looking for is the M15 to flip. What's going on here? Okay, M15 to flip. So again, I don't care about bar structure. I don't care, if I see a trend line or anything like that. Right now, the M5 is bullish because we flipped that breakout level on the M5. Now I'm just going to look to size in on this M15 breakout level. If M15 flips, then I know the M15 is starting to turn bullish. And then I want to see the H1 breakout level flip, and then the H1 is bullish. So these are where I'll be looking to size in. And so when you take entries like this and you hold, this is one position. It'll be a 7R position if it gets to the previous day high, and the setup is a continuation move up to that previous day high. There is a previous H8 high here, so this is some place that I would also consider. But the idea is I do want to take it up because higher time frames are pushing up. And we are at the low of the day. Currently, the math works out. I think I explained this one, the math. So on the first H8, there's a 33.3% chance that we've locked in the low of the day. And if it stays locked in, if I caught the low, I need to be targeting at least 2R, and I'm definitely targeting at least 2R. So this false breakout entry is not the best one, like I said. It's a strong one, but the most lucrative one, I should say that the most lucrative one is this one. This is not the most lucrative. This is still a good one. Flipping the breakout low and trading above tells me that we're at a possible swing point. Swing point is not confirmed until we get above the previous M5 high, which is right here. If we get above this, then I know that the M5 is now bullish. But right now it's not. So there's still a chance that we'll come down, especially since we haven't faked out the low. But again, I'm risking 1R to make 7R. That's a lopsided risk to reward ratio. That's something that I'm happy to take this 1R risk. And it only works if this sort of trading style will only work if you keep your risk really low. So on the M15, I risk 1%, or at least I risk my full position. M5, I risk half my position. M1, I risk a quarter of my position. And then below that, I risk much less than that. So in this particular case, I'm risking 0.03% per position. And then I slowly build it up. Not 0.3%, 0.03. And so I'm looking to try to build it up 3, 4, 5 positions. I don't mind. But this is not the best one. The best one would be that fake out of the low, that breakout reversal. And I hope I can get that today. Otherwise, let's just see what happens. I'm not going to force anything. Just let the market play out. Okay, just going to let this pause. I have nothing to do until price gets to these places. So right now it's a breakout bar. We have hard time frames pushing up. The breakout level on the M5 is right here. We flipped the M1 breakout level. So the M1 is bearish, but M5 is bullish. I do want to see a continued push up above. I might miss some of these entries on the catching them on video. Sometimes they go quickly, but essentially I'm waiting for exactly how I took this one. I want to see one bar close, and then I want to see a continuation. One bar close, another continuation, and I think I'll switch this to the previous H1 high. One bar close, and then continuation. So I'll slowly add up, and then I'll be back. Quick time check, 11, still plenty of time. I trade only when there's 2 sessions open at the same time. So right now, Asia and Tokyo are open, and that's when the highest volume is in Asia. So I'll be trading only that. If I only trade non-session times, I only trade when two markets open at the same time, but if I don't, it's always going to be at the higher time frame bars, opening times like the 8 hour, 12 hour, and the 4 hour. Otherwise, I only focus on when two markets open at the same time. So there's still a good chance. Well, not, I don't know if there's a good chance, but still a chance that price might come down. I really do want to see that come down, but let's see. Okay, gonna pause it. Nothing for me to do right now. Okay, we just triggered that M15, so I'm looking for a closure, and then I'm looking for a push to continue this move. So there was a closure above. M15 is now bullish, and I just need a little push above. There we go. So added one more position in over here. Again, I'm not looking at head and shoulders or M's and W's. I'm looking at, don't need this one, just levels. And so trading this way, I'm not, sitting at the computer just staring at bar structure. I just slowly, I just set my alerts and I can kind of do whatever, watch basketball games and do whatever. I don't, I remember when I was first learning scalping, people told me I have to close the curtains and only listen to music with no lyrics or something like that. I'm like, that's not me at all. You need to trade a way that fits your personality. Okay, so my first position is down here. Second position is up here. I do not add positions if it gets back under. I'm only going to add positions when it's above. The only position that I will add in if it comes down below is this breakout reversal position. So right now we got the false breakout positions on both M5 and M15. Have not taken this one. I really hope I can get one. Otherwise, I'll explain why I'll take it. Every time I see that, I'm going to take it. It is so lucrative to take that one. But right now we have 7.5 hour in this one, and we have 5 hour in this one. So, yep. So around 12 hour total on this move. Definitely want to hit more than that, but let's see. So we're so close here. I might add in soon if we can get above. And so the minimum, actually, this is probably going to be the minimum. I'm not going to take any more because I don't like this sort of risk to reward. I only want to take these sort of trades when it's above 5R. So if we get a bit too high, maybe I'll take one more. But after that, I don't want to take too many. And the reason why is if I win this one, let's say this was 4R. The next four trades for me, I can lose the next four trades and I would still be break even. When you're trading like this, you're going to you should expect to take many losses. And a 5R kind of insurance is not something that I really like. Something like this is better, but I prefer even better than that. Okay, nothing to do. I'm just going to pause it. So I can see that gold has set up now. So the setup that I was looking for, trend breakout. This check mark tells me that breakout bias and peak bias are both pushing in the same direction. So it's great to see when my scanner lets me know that there's an entry. So this is an entry in 3 minutes. If we can get above this H1 breakout level, this would be my M15 entry. But today I'm scalping. I want to show a little bit of my scalping principles. And I always, like I said, I always say that my setups are completely fractal. You can trade them as a swing trader and trade them as a scalper. And so today I just want to show how I approach my concepts as a scalper. Okay, so we just got triggered on gold. Let's go back and see where we are. We're above that H1. I just need a little push above. Still no push. If we can just push a little bit above, I'll size in one more time. Quick time check, 2 minutes until the M15 bar. This might be the last entry I'd take. Slowing down a bit here. Got the M1 chart here, and M1 looks at the H1 bars. So these are the H1 breakout level. Okay, we got to push. Is it going to close above? Okay, closed above. Just need to see a little continuation here. Did not continue. So this is a breakout reversal on the M1. Still only have two positions. I didn't get on this one because it ended up faking out. So do you want to see this back up? So here's the M1 breakout level, M5. So we have two time frame alignment. I'm looking for buys over here, and we just faked out. So that's a breakout reversal. If we get back up, then we're still back in breakout. Close above there, then I'll get in. See the next candle close or not. Okay, close above, got in on this move. So this is what I was looking for. Okay, and so this will be my last position on this M15. So slowly building up my position. I want to keep my stop loss at the low of the day and targeting that previous day high. So right now I have, 7, 5, that's 12 plus 4, about 16, 15R on this move. And so right now, the way that I think about it is we're at the low of the day. My trade management is I do not touch this at all. This will probably not come down. I'm not going to look at this anymore. This is my level where if I get taken out, all of these get taken out. So I'm risking 3R to make 15R. So right now, I consider this kind of like my insurance position. If I'm correct, I'm going to be getting 15R. And the reason I have confidence is because the higher time frames are all pushing up. The one thing I didn't like was we were at that range, right? So that's one thing, but I'm risking 15R, 3R to make 15R. I think that's a good reason to go against that. So now that I have that as my insurance, now I can take even riskier or more aggressive, not riskier, but more aggressive entries. And so now my next stops are going to be below the M15s or the M5. So right now we're still in breakout over here on the M5, and we're getting this sort of movement. We have that consolidation breakout and still consolidation breakout. I want to see a pullback to take this up. On the M5, we broke out of this range. So there's been breakout and a bunch of ranges here. Now in a breakout here. Nothing I can really do with this. It's already too high up. I do want to see some sort of pullback. So I'm not going to take this entry. This is too high up. 3R, yeah, I don't like this one anymore. I'll wait for some sort of pullback if I can get it. I'm not going to force anything. If this is all the market gives me, then I'm happy with what it gives me. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for some sort of pullback. I really want to get that, really want to show that breakout reversal entry. Right now, everything is a false breakout. So this is a sort of risk reward that you can get on a false breakout. On these trend reversals, it's even lower, but the trend reversals are safer, but these ones are the most risky, but they make sense to take because you get a huge amount. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Before I do that, I'm going to take a look at how it behaves at this previous H8 high. If it starts to get stuck, then I'm just going to bail. It's not. If it gets stuck here, I'm just going to bail. Otherwise, I'm going to be holding up to that previous day high. First session of the day, just want to bank in some stuff, and so I can trade a bit more freely in the next sessions. Okay, 1 minute to the new M15. M15 on gold is pushing down. So this is actually what I want to see. I want to see a pullback, and I want to take it back up if it comes, if it gives me an entry. Nikkei is still there, and Nikkei has actually completed that move, the move that I wanted to take. Gold did not give me that breakout reversal entry. It did not get back down below here, so I did not get that breakout reversal entry that I wanted. If I took Nikkei, if I was ready in Asia in the morning, Nikkei did give that breakout reversal entry where there's the breakout level, and here's that fake out of the previous low. So this is a breakout reversal. Then once we flip, we're breaking out of the high, and then we start the new trend. So these would be the 3 entries on Nikkei, and probably on a lower time frame. I wouldn't be taking this one all the way up here, but that's the idea. So unfortunate, I wasn't here. I wasn't ready in the morning to take this, but this worked out perfectly. This is also a breakout continuation on the H8. Here's the H8 breakout level, faked out the H8 high, got and faked out the H8 low. So this is a breakout reversal, breakout continuation. I mean, breakout, faked out the low, did not flip that breakout level. Instead, it faked out the low to come back up. Tells me that the peak is not locked in, and I would expect price to come back right up to that peak. Okay, so that was unfortunate, but let's focus on gold now. Gold just closed, so it closed in bearish breakout. So in order for me to reverse a bearish breakout move, I'm looking for a move like this, flipping that breakout level. Where's that breakout level? Right here. It looks like it's starting to flip now. So now I'm looking at the M5. M5 is a string of breakout bars, and I want to see a flip of that. What I'm looking for, fake out of the low. This is the one that I really want to see. This is going to give me the breakout reversal. And if I don't get that, then I'm going to take, I don't think I'm going to take, I definitely want to see it come down. But technically I can take this, but this won't give me the type of risk to reward that I want. So I'm only going to be interested if it comes down and fakes out the low. Okay, so again, I don't look at how candles are moving and stuff. 50 minutes to the new H1. I'm okay taking this one because what I don't want to see is I don't want to see a breakout against my position, right? So this one's already kind of moving up, so I wouldn't expect it to come back down in the next 15 minutes. You never know what happens, but this is, when you're trading, it's all about probability. I would think that probability tells me that it's not going to come back down over here. Quick check on the H4. So 13 minutes until the H4. Again, I don't want to see it come down and break out in the next 1 hour. There's still a possibility it'll do that because we're stuck in a range here on the H8 and possibly on the H4 here. Yep, there's a range here on the H4 outside bar. So there's still a possibility that it'll come down and fake out the low because the last piece of price action on this range was up here. But I was still happy taking this because price action did tell me that this was coming back up. Based on the lower time frames we're rolling over. So this was a good risk to take for me, at least in my opinion. It's a, 15R move. I think that's good enough risk to risk 3R on. So I don't mind doing that. If it comes down and takes me out, that's a 3R loss. That's no problem. And then I'll catch it again down here. And if I catch it down here, it won't be a 15R move. It's going to be much more than that. So that's the thought process behind my trading. And let's see if I can get an entry here. Again, I don't care at all until price triggers one of these alerts. And I'm not interested if it gets up. If it gets up, I'm probably going to be done for the session. But I do want to see it come down over here. Okay, we've just triggered that low. Didn't hit my alert, but it did trigger. So right now I want to see, let's see the time here. 20 seconds. Okay, what I want to see right now, we're below this M5 breakout level. I want to see the M5 get triggered. We already triggered, I can see that. And then I want to see the M1 flip. So 3 seconds to the new M1. Let's see how the M1 closed. Closed inside. So now I want to see price get above this previous M1 high. I can get in on an early entry if we can get above this M1 high. We're flipping that M1 breakout level. I want to get this M1 high. So this is a trend reversal on the M1. If I can hit this one, then I'd be happy. And again, I'm being aggressive here. This is super aggressive entry. And the reason why is because this is my insurance position, 15R. So I'm willing to lose maybe 3 or 4, 5R on this attempting this one. But again, I'm not trading in a reckless way. I'm watching momentum slowly turn. And so this is why it's important to keep your stop loss at the low of the day. And I don't move it. The second I move it, I lose all the protection. I lose that math. I lose the protection of the low of the day. I lose the protection of H8 low, H4 low, and any levels in between here. I want to keep my stop loss at the low of the day to keep the math in my favor. But again, in this case, I'm going to attempt one if I do get it. But if I take a loss on that, I'm not going to take any more because I do think that this will continue on down. I mean, there's a possibility that it'll continue on down to that H8 level. So I'm not going to force this. But the good thing about the way that I trade is that NZ over here, end of my session, but just want to have a quick look here. Okay. Okay. So we got above, and I just want to see closure and continuation. The continuation part is the most important. And as you can see, I don't need to be staring at my charts. All I need to do is just wait for the alerts. Okay, so there's no continuation here. So that's not an entry for me. Okay, quick time check here. I always like to see those 5-minute closures. So 2 minutes until the 5-minute closes. We are bullish on the M1. I can take it again over here. This is too high for me. I don't like this one, but this technically is an entry for me, and I just want to show how I approach my entries after I take my insurance positions. Okay, so I have to get above over here. M1 closed, breakout. So we broke out above. I can drop down to the 1 second and see that 1 minute, but that's overkill. I don't need to do that. But I have done that in the past when I was really trying to push myself, challenge myself. I would do some things like that, but don't really need to do that today. Okay, so the M1 breakout level is here. We're bullish on the M1 as so those breakout levels, again, I'm overall bullish above, overall bearish below. So we have mixed bias here. Looking over here. Okay, we're getting above. Some continuation. We closed above. That's where I want it to be. Just need some continuation. I don't like how we're right. I don't want to trade smack into that M5 high, so I'm going to wait for a closure above that. Squeezing here. This is probably going to blow out. Okay, got in on that move a little bit early, but I did want to thing with these breakout reversals, if you can hit them properly, then it makes sense to take them. So this one is slightly early. I should have waited for that to close, but it's okay. I'm done with my session now. So this position, if it gets all the way through, is a 15-hour position. And this is why trading that breakout reversal entry is extremely lucrative. If you can hit these sort of positions and it can hit them down here, then 1 hour to make 15 hour. This is definitely lopsided risk to reward ratio. So now I have that my insurance position, which is 15R. Now it just increased by another 15. So this entire thing, if it gets all the way through, is going to be 30R. And I think that's it. Not going to take any more. End of my session here at 12. If this gets taken out, it's okay. Not a big deal. It's just 1R. I do feel that this might come down and take all these positions out. But this is just this is why you keep your risk low when you trade. And when these four get taken out, if these four get taken out, it's 0.12%. That's not a big deal. Okay, so let me just another 5 minutes here. I'll just watch around. If I get taken out, then I might try one more time. Otherwise, I'm happy with this. Quick time check, 10 minutes here. Okay, so that's it for this one. I hope learned gave a little bit of insight on how I trade. I think the most important thing is to keep your position size small. slowly add in and have a mechanical process of entering your trades. I don't trade things like head and shoulders or anything like that. I don't find those a mechanical process. I see lots of strategies out there that claim they're mechanical, and then they ask you to draw, supply demand levels and things like that. For me, that's not mechanical, or at least it doesn't satisfy my definition of what mechanical is. So for me, what a mechanical process is if you ask 1,000 different traders, 1,000 profitable traders trading the same strategy. If you give them your entry criteria, you'd ask them to draw your trend lines and supply and demand levels and head and shoulders. Are you going to get 1,000 uh, exact charts? You're not going to get the same chart, right? You're going to get 1,000 different charts. And so, what does that tell you about how important it is to learn how to draw those things? It's not important at all to learn how to draw your supply and demand and head and shoulders and stuff like that. That's not what's important. What's important is learning how to trade those concepts in a consistent way. And the problem okay, it just got taken out here on this position. So this one is a 1 hour loss, but I'm still going to just see if I can get back in on this. Just hold that thought. I'll get back to it. So right now we're breaking out of the M5 low. Took that 1 hour loss. Breaking out of the M5 low. I don't want to reverse a breakout of the M5 unless I get a lower time frame fake out. Right? Lower time frames reverse before the higher time frames. M1 will reverse before M5, M5 reverses before M15, so on and so forth. So right now we're breaking out of the M5 low. I have no reason at all to take this. What I want to see is I want to see it get back in, and we have 2 minutes until the next M5, and the new M1 is going to close and break out. What I want to see is a fake out of this M1 low, and if I get a fake out, this allows me to start looking for a reversal. This faking out the peak is the first sign of a reversal, but it's not confirmed until it gets above that breakout level. So what I want to see right now is a fake out of the M1 low and then reverse back into the M5 low, and then I can take that. Otherwise, I want to wait until it gets above this M1 breakout level. So like I said, I do want to trade aggressively at this point, and I'm just slowly waiting for momentum to turn in my direction. So right now M5 and M1 are both bearish, so there's no reason at all for me to look for a buy. We've just triggered that M1 low. This is a first sign of a reversal, but I'm waiting for the M5 low to get faked out. It's so close that I'm not going to attempt this one. One more minute until the M5. Let's see how the M5 is closing here. It looks like it'll close and break out. Well, don't know if it'll do, but I do want to see it close and break out, because again, that breakout level gets pushed down. Right now, the M5 breakout level is here. And if it closes and breakout, this thing will push down to about here. And this will be the new M5 breakout level. So overall bullish above, overall bearish below. Waiting for this. I think I'm going to run out of time here. I'm going to pause it, and I'll try to get that entry later. Okay, I couldn't catch the entry on the video, but it's a breakout bar on the M5. And then what I'm looking for on that bearish breakout, I want to see price. I'm looking for a reversal. I want to see price get back above the breakout level, breaking out of a previous high. So we did break out of the previous M1 high over here. And so I ended up entering again when there was continuation. So that's going to be the last position. If I get taken out on this one, I'm not going to be entering anymore. And this is it. So that's another one. That's not the best one again, but still it's a 20R move if I've locked this in. And again, this is my insurance position. I might get taken out on this 2R, and if that's it, that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, so that's it. Last one. So what I was saying is, if you're going to trade this way, you need to find some sort of consistent approach. If you're trading things like head and shoulders and stuff like that, for me, and this is just my personal, this is just me personally. It's that when I get emotional, I no longer am able to trade those consistently. Everything becomes a push for me. Everything becomes a trend line for me. Everything becomes supply and demand levels for me. So I don't trade things like that because I can't control myself emotionally. That's my own failure. That's not a failure of the concept. That's my own personal failure. I was not able to figure that out. You can fix that with trading psychology and stuff like that. You can do that, or you can just focus on consistent levels, non-negotiable levels, things like previous M15 highs and previous M15 lows. If I ask 1,000 different traders to draw me out your M15 breakout levels, all 1,000 traders are going to draw it at the exact same level. And when things get hectic in trading and things get emotional, doesn't matter what time frame I'm on. I can be on any time frame at all. I'll know exactly where my entry is going to be, at what time I have to enter. None of that is in doubt at all. And so this is why I trade non-negotiable levels, and I think that's the only way that you can really trade this sort of way. Scalping, you really want to reduce as many variables as you can, and that's kind of what I've done with these non-negotiable levels. The other thing with I don't like about head and shoulders and stuff like that is I see people draw those out on their M1s and stuff like that, but they don't do the same process on the daily or the M15 or anything. They have one process to take entries, and then they analyze their higher time frames in a completely different way. And then on the M15 intraday time frames, what they end up doing is they end up putting Asia high and low and things like that. Well, if you're trading Asia high and low, nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're trading Asian high and low, it's completely irrelevant on the monthly, weekly, and daily bars, right? So that means there's three different ways. You have a higher time frame way to analyze, middle time frame way to analyze, put volume profile and things like that, and then you have one separate way to analyze the entry. So the way that I analyze, if I'm on the monthly, I'm looking strictly at the breakout bars. I look at breakout levels and peak levels, which peak has been triggered. And then on the weekly, I do the same. On the daily, I do the same. I look for breakout levels and peak levels. These bars, these green lines and stuff like that, these tell me which peak has been triggered and which daily breakout levels have been triggered. So that's how I analyze the daily, the higher time frames. Just doing a quick time check here. That's how I analyze the higher time frames. My signal, my signal days are based off of breakout levels and peak levels, which peaks have been triggered, which breakout levels have been triggered. My setups are based off of breakout levels, and here's the H8 breakout level and peak levels, which peak has been triggered. And my entries are also based off of breakout levels and peak levels. So it's one concept traded from the monthly all the way down to the 1 second if I wanted to. So this reduces all the variables that I have in my trading, and I don't need to be analyzing and flustered about anything. I know exactly where I am when I'm switching out to different time frames. Okay, so that's it. I think good session. Hopefully this continues. If it gets taken out, it's not a big deal. Again, I'll be looking for it again down here. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got to say. Got this nice one over here. I took one yesterday on US 30, got it recorded over here. This one did move. I'm stuck here now, and this position's in jeopardy, but the ones here are down low, and you can see how I size in slowly. This first position, all of them, I took it from down here, sized in somewhere here. This first position at the high of the day was a 32R move. Next level at the weekly levels is 58R, and then at the monthly levels is 98R. So this is a sort of risk to reward that I want when I'm taking these sort of scalps. I don't want to be taking these 1R, 2R scalps. That's just way too much pressure. If you lose three in a row, you psychologically you need to think about winning three in a row just to go back to break even. I don't like to do that. For me, if this trade goes through, and it's a big if, there's, what was that, 15 plus 20 now, 35R. That's 35R. I can lose 35 in a row, and I would still be at break even. Okay, that's it. Just gonna let this play out, and let's see what happens.